You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. As we know, the WNBA draft's about to happen, and she's about to make the transition. I'm a little bit like Jason Whitlock. I almost wish he would stay in college another year and enjoy the spotlight, and then maybe just head off into the sunset, or even go play ball overseas. But I think a lot of us are worried about how the WNBA activists, and I'm sorry, it's a league full of activists, are going to end up treating Caitlin Clark, and I think they're going to treat her pretty poorly. A lot of them, you can tell, are extremely jealous. They're very angry over the response from basketball fans that just want to see regular people play basketball. And by regular people, yeah, people that don't have a political agenda in their basketball games, all right? People want to be able to take their families to basketball games and not have to explain alternative lifestyles, and they don't want to have to go and pay money, generally speaking, to support a team when a lot of the players in the league don't even support that traditional family that wants to go see the game. They can't stand a nuclear family, and a lot of them are Marxists. Let's just be real. And Jason Whitlock has come out and made some comments. We'll take a look at what he had to say very quickly before we get started. We got a couple of things that is going to surprise a lot of people. Angel Reese, who of course was seen as sort of that rival of Caitlin Clark, she's dropping down the WNBA draft boards right now, and it's sort of surprising a lot of people. But this was the New York Post this morning, and they got her dropping all the way down to 7. ESPN's got her dropping down all the way to 8th now. And this is what they had to say. You might be thinking, what? How is Reese so low? She put up monster stats, was the best player on a title team, and is one of the faces of the sport. Well, there are some pressing questions about Reese's game and how it will translate. Can she continue her signature offensive rebounding rate? 6 rebounds a game. Wow. Against pros, will her awkward angle finishing and utter lack of shooting remove her as a scoring threat? Also, what's being brought up about Angel Reese, of course, is the mid-season mystery absence that nobody knows exactly what's going on or what happened there. And, well, it's hurting her on the draft boards now. Now, Caitlin Clark, the Caitlin Clark effect is in full effect. And what we are seeing now as far as ticket prices, those regular families that want to actually bring their family out to see a non-activist play in the WNBA, somebody that's there to just play basketball, all right? You're starting to see that ticket effect. It's something we've talked about over multiple days, but now what you're starting to see is essentially 4 times the going rate for Caitlin Clark games versus non-Caitlin Clark games. So if you're wondering, will this translate to the rest of the league, it looks like the answer's no. That interest is going to carry over into other games? No. Tried getting tickets for the Fever at New York Liberty. They were $380 tickets to sit in the 13th to 15th row. $98 for the same section to watch the Sky at Liberty the same week. That's the Caitlin Clark effect, folks. 4 times the price to watch Caitlin Clark. It doesn't end there, folks, at all. This person said, I don't want to see anyone say the Caitlin Clark effect isn't real. On the left, the Mercury game versus Liberty with last year's league MVP and other stars. To the right is their matchup with the lottery picking Indiana Fever, presumably taking Caitlin Clark. The ticket prices are absurdly different. On the left, $23 a ticket. On the right, $124 a ticket. Again, that's 5 times higher. Now, tickets for Clark's expected WNBA debut, against the Connecticut Sun. Mohegan Sun Arena are starting at $95. Some courtside tickets for that game are priced at more than $2,700 on the retail market. The other day we saw one, I believe it might have been, I don't know if it was one of the New York games, but there was an outlier ticket out there that was almost $10,000. I mean, wow. Tickets to a Sun game against the Mystic just a few days later, they're $25. The lowest price ticket for the Liberty home opener May 18th, which is expected to be Clark's WNBA debut in New York, the Big Apple, is $93 as of Friday, and some floor seats for that game are on Ticketmaster for over $5,900. Wow. At Vivid Seats, the tickets for the Liberty home opener were starting at $92 on Friday, but to see the team play the Seattle Storm just 2 days later, tickets are $31. Wow. So her tickets are at least 4 to 5 times higher for Caitlin Clark games versus non-Caitlin Clark games in the WNBA. So it's clear while she's bringing interest to the games that she's involved in, the rest of the league can go pound sand if she's not involved. People are not going to show up. People are not showing up, and you're seeing that reflective. Those prices are based on demand, folks, based on ticket demand, and people are not willing to go out for the other players in the WNBA. Woo, you think that is not going to bring about hate. Now let's get to Jason Whitlock and what he said, because I think he said some things that are very interesting right now. This is what sports fans have been longing for, and there's a lesson in this for all sports leagues that will fly over their heads. We just watched one woman take a sport that no one cared about and probably increase women's college basketball ratings by 500% in totality. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player, but trust me, if she had been all tatted up, a deep voice like Brittany Griner, and out of the closet LGBT, I don't think as many people would have tuned in. Absolutely not. Any person running a sports league just got an example of what a little traditional American value would do for your ratings. And it doesn't matter whether it comes in a black or a white or black wrap packaging, because she did it. She did what Michael Jordan did for the NBA. Absolutely. Michael Jordan is as dark-skinned as any black person I know. He wasn't all tatted up. He didn't pick a side politically. I'm going to go out here and play basketball at a high level. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to celebrate my father and my mother and my upbringing. And I'm not going to take a dump on this country that's making me millions of dollars and allowing me to provide for my family. People loved Michael Jordan, and they tuned in to see him play. If anybody was serious about growing their sport, selling tickets, and drawing a bigger audience, they would follow the Caitlin Clark and Michael Jordan model. I think he's absolutely correct in this. Correct. By the way, he would go on to call out all kinds of people. He calls out Dawn Staley, too, in this. He believes that her celebration of Caitlin Clark was bullshit. He doesn't believe it. He thinks it was fake. He thinks she would have said something radically different if they would have lost that game versus won it. But look, Jason Whitlock is right. You're seeing it reflective in ticket prices. You saw it in college basketball. People were bringing their families to basketball games, women's college basketball games, right? You got somebody out there, she's straight. It seems like she's got all-American traditional values, family-friendly, plain and simple. The WNBA, in large part, is not even family-friendly if you support traditional American values. It's not. The whole league is filled with a bunch of activists that are always running their mouth about how bad they hate this country, and almost all of them are members of the alphabet community, the alphabet mafia. And a lot of people are not taking their families to be subjected to that. They're not. They're like, you hate this country? You don't support traditional family values? You preach Marxism? Nah, we're not coming out to see you. You can have your league. And by the way, that all backs up what we just talked about. Caitlin Clark games, 4 and 5 and 6 times higher on ticket prices than any other WNBA game. They're not going out there for Brittany Griner like that, are they? That's interesting. It really is interesting. And I just wonder how much hate Caitlin Clark's going to take from fellow members of the WNBA, and I wonder how much that's going to end up affecting her game. You know? Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.